Hello, my name is Jen Holtz. I am the Associate State Director for Outreach at AARP Maryland. As an extension of our recent Teletown Hall series to support parents, caregivers of children who are home during social distancing and self isolation, we have decided to continue the series through the summer to provide great ideas for keeping your kids healthy and helping them to thrive during the summer months. Join us over the coming weeks for our Summer Lunch and Learn series, and please visit our website, aarp.org/MD, to learn more about the resources in our state to support you while you're home with your kids this summer. We are thrilled to have the Holistic Life Foundation joining us today. HLF is a nonprofit that has provided yoga and mindfulness education for underserved residents in the Baltimore community and beyond. Through a comprehensive approach which helps children develop their inner lives through yoga, mindfulness, and self care, HLF demonstrates deep commitment to learning, community, and stewardship of the environment. Since its inception, HLF has facilitated yoga, mindfulness, and environmental based programs for youth in schools, recreation centers, group homes, the Baltimore Juvenile Detention Center, and other venues. On top of all of that, they also offer an array of adult centered programming. With us today is Jamar Malcolm Pete, a Baltimore, Maryland native and the manager of executive support. He has served as a yoga and mindfulness instructor with the Holistic Life Foundation and was one of the original members involved in HLF's Holistic Me after school program. He has facilitated each of HLF's programs and continues to conduct outreach services to the communities, schools, and companies looking to experience mindful practices. Welcome, Jamar, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So, Tamar, as we spoke with our guests throughout this series, we consistently heard that the efforts to reduce anxiety and stress in our kids is incredibly important during this pandemic. How does the Holistic Life Foundation help kids navigate this very scary time?
Well, the significance of it is the basics of our trainings and our practices as well, where we slightly took our in-person model and made it a little virtual because of the social distancing, the pandemic, the stay-at-home orders, the closing of schools and businesses, etc. So the significance of our practices, it's more of like a train-to-trainer kind of model because we teach teachers, we don't teach students, no matter what age, gender, race, whatever, it doesn't matter. We want to teach you the tools, techniques, benefits, the ins and outs, when and why, so that no matter what or when you're ever, overcome with emotions or put in a situation, you feel as though that's overwhelming, you're able to self-regulate yourself, bring yourself back to center, so you create that pause in between thought, in between decisions, so that you don't have to any regret or you don't want to take back what you said or what you did, and it's more beneficial than it isn't. So mainly we're trying to replace the R words. So people tend to be reactive instead of responsive. So we're trying
Mhm.
to create that pause so you're more responsive instead of reactive.
Sure, sure. That makes perfect sense. So that's great. And do you feel that children of different age groups respond differently to certain self care exercises? So, for example, would you recommend that a preschooler practice something differently than an eighth grader to create an environment of calm and mindfulness?
Not necessarily, because everyone's on the same spectrum and it's delivered so fundamental where it's the age range, lengthened, where sometimes we will have our younger population teaching our older population,
Wow.
and that's the more engaging part. But dependent because of the culture concept, and the people learn differently, you may have to be more imaginative when you are working with our younger students than they are your older students, where we have to be more realistic and relatable and humanizing ourselves, so that we're not this majestic positions that we're going to be doing and nothing too hectic or crazy out of the norm. It's more of a science where you're testing, experimenting these tools on yourself to
Mhm.
see if they're beneficial to you or they may be beneficial to someone else. So that's the teacher aspect behind it, and the empowerment, and also you're able to you know, take a deep breath whenever you need to, and you know when you need to. So
Well, yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. And I understand that you're going to walk us through an exercise today. So please, everybody who's watching today, feel free to join in. But I invite you to take it away, Jamar.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to start with the basic outline line of the way we practice. So there's no right or wrong way of breathing, but there's a more beneficial way, and I'll explain why. And you'll hear this in every single one of our classes that we like to highlight. The more beneficial, more appropriate way of breathing is in and out of your nose, and there's three main reasons why. You have hairs. I know I have hair in my face, but you have hair inside of your nose to act as a filter to block all the germs, bacteria, little small particles in the air that you cannot see. Especially in these days, we're dealing with the pandemic and the COVID-19. So things are like pretty much in the air and not really visible to the common eye. But those nose hairs act as a filter to block all those germs from getting inside of your body, traveling throughout your blood, and all the above. Also, you have your tear ducts, the glands that create your tears. That humidifies the air that comes inside your body. So now you're breathing in nice, fresh air because of the moisture of your tear glands. And lastly, your mucous membrane is the device that slightly creates like your boogers and your snots. Yeah, yucky, yucky. But it's very, very beneficial because that heats up the air that comes inside your body. So in the summertime, it's fairly hot, but we got those cold winter months where you may be inside that regulated temperature, but if you go outside, breathing in and out your mouth could shock your system. You may even get that tightness in your chest or that chest cold or whatever, season up your bronchs. So it's very, very beneficial to breathe in and out your nose. You do not have any of those devices inside your mouth. Also, the second part of it is, in and out your nose. That's our first device. Our second is our diaphragm, our stomach. You'll hear the reference of fill your stomach up like a balloon because whenever you put air in a balloon, you blow that air up. Blow that air in, the balloon gets bigger. You take that air out of that balloon gets smaller. You have that same device, which is your balloon, on your body. So, because our lungs sit in our body kind of like a container, shaped like a teardrop. So, if you are doing those Superman breaths, putting all the air in your chest, you're only filling up a portion of your lungs. But when you're filling up your stomach like a balloon, you're expanding, you're getting your full length of capacity of air coming inside of your body. And your exhale is more important than your inhale because when you release all the air out of your body wants more air. So that also creates a percentage of the expansion of your lungs to prevent you to be short-winded for minimum activities. That will also it would feel like you're extending your time where you're able to live in the moment. So we're going to hop right into the practice. So I welcome you to sit in a nice, comfortable, posturous position with your back, head, and neck aligned. That way, the air can properly run its course throughout your body. And if you are hunched over, I know you heard the term of practice make perfect. I don't slightly believe in that. It's another term I like to go by where practice makes progress because you can practice all the time and still be a little bad at something. So practice makes progress. The more you practice, the progressive you'll get at doing whatever you're practicing. So if you're constantly slouching over, you want to start to monitor your posture. So that way, because if this is your day-to-day posture, then as you age, you'll start to deform your body this way. So you want to always just try to check in and just check in on your body. And you'll hear that same check-in term of a self-internal assessment where you're just exploring, being that scientist, seeing how your mind and your body feels. So I welcome you to sit up nice and tall. I also welcome you to either close your eyes or soften your gaze. So that way you're not distracted by anyone or anything. I have one rule, and the main rule is to focus on yourself. Throughout the course of our day, we're always kind of projecting ourselves onto someone else with our thoughts, with our vision, with our sound. So just try to reward yourself with this internal hug or high five, the reward of centering yourself. All right, so I welcome you to sit up nice and tall if you're back here, neck aligned. I welcome you to soften your gaze or close your eyes if you feel comfortable. We're going to be breathing in and out of our nose. Each inhale, filling our stomach up with air. Each exhale, trying to remove all of that air out of our body. I want you to inhale nice and deep, filling your stomach up like a balloon. And exhale, pushing all of that air out, all nice and under control. Inhale nice and deep again. Holding on to that breath. And exhale. Each exhale, you should feel your mind and your body relaxing more and more. Inhale nice and deep. Filling your stomach up. Holding on to that breath. And exhale. We're going to do two more. So inhale through your nose, allowing that air to enter. And exhale, allowing that air to exit. Last one, we're gonna try this, hold this breath a little longer. So inhale as you possibly can, pulling all that positive air from the bodies of from the bodies of water, trees, and plants, holding on to that breath so that energy is allowed to manifest in your body. And exhale, pushing all of that air out. And before you alter your position and break your gaze, I welcome you to take 3 deep breaths on your own, just to do a check-in and internal assessment to see how your mind and your body feels to that exercise we just performed. Again, all under control with your inhales and your exhales, feeling that dose of relaxation. With each exhale, you release. And after your last exhale, you can slowly open your eyes, adjust back to the light. And that is our centering exercise, also known as our belly breathing.
Wow, that's really great, Jamar. And I can see how that can bring someone back to a place of peace and calm, especially a child who's experiencing a bout of anxiety or just a general meltdown. So, very, very helpful. In fact, I'm going to have all of my kids watch this. So, thank you for sharing that. Really, really helpful. I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I'm sure that there are lots of folks out there who could use the assistance of your team at Holistic Life Foundation. Can you please tell us how folks can get in touch with you? And now that everyone has pivoted to virtual life, is your programming open to anyone outside of the Baltimore area?
Absolutely. That's why we're named holistic, because we're trying to be open to all. And we're not trying to harness any of these knowledge. We're trying to spread mindfulness and love and peace and these, good, happy feelings just as fast and as quick and more extensive than the COVID-19. So instead of being aware of a virus, we're trying to spread some love and some mindfulness to each and every single person.
That's great. That's wonderful. This has been a wonderful experience. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we at AARP, of course, hope to have you and your team join us on future sessions. So we're really looking forward to that. Thanks again, everyone. That is a wrap. Please tune in again for tips and tools on caring for your children during the ever changing conditions caused by this global pandemic. Our next Lunch and Learn interview will take place Wednesday, August 12th at noon, and then we will transition to a fall series starting in September. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.